guys, welcome back to Everyday Struggle. I am Nadeska here with Akademiks and Wayno. It is Thursday, Friday on Everyday Struggle. How are you guys feeling today?
What's good? I'm feeling good. I'm a little tired. It's like getting through these weeks. I still don't know what day it is, but I'm a little tired, but I'm good. I'm feeling all right. How y'all feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling great. Today's a Thursday, but the topics and just, all the interesting stuff that we get to talk about feels like a Monday. Usually drags towards the end of the week. Maybe it's just my second day back, so I don't know. But I'm hella excited. How y'all?
Oh, yeah, it's Tuesday for you right now.
Yeah, it really is. You had the week off.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yo, we haven't done like a mental health check-in in a while. It's been like 4 months now since we've been home. I feel like people go through phases of feeling motivated to do things and down. I feel like Wayno right now tired. I just can't sleep. I'm tossing and turning all night. Are you guys good? Like really good?
Yeah, I feel like my mind and my heart is in the right place. So it's like as long as my mind and my heart is in the right place, my attention is always pure. So I'm straight.
That's beautiful, Wayno.
Hey, randomly yesterday, because while we do the show from home now, like every day, like when we usually go into the office and I live in Jersey, going into New York, I drive through that Lincoln Tunnel and I posted a video yesterday of some dude filming the tunnel flooding, and I just had some anxiety. Okay, I was like, yo, damn. I don't know what I would do if I was ever in that situation, and ever since I was a little kid, I always feared something like that happening. And I was watching that video like, yo, this dude seems way too calm. This is not going too well.
That was
crazy. Other than that, getting through stuff.
Well, don't worry, Ak. It doesn't seem like we're going anywhere anytime soon, unfortunately. But I'm glad we could still do this every day. So before we get into all those big stories you're excited about, I feel like it's very important to mention that it's been over 4 months now since an EMT worker named Breonna Taylor was murdered by cops in Louisville, Kentucky. So if you guys have not been following this case, cops broke into her apartment and blindly fired shots, killed her. And this happened mid-March. Not a single cop involved has been arrested yet. People like Rihanna, Beyonce have written to the Attorney General and nothing has happened. So yesterday, 100 protesters gathered at the Attorney General's house, including YBN Cordae and Trae The Truth. He called cops and asked them to have him leave the property, and when they didn't, they were arrested. So his name again is Daniel Cameron. You can find him on Twitter. You can find him on Instagram. And I would never advocate for trolling or spamming, but please hit this man up and get in his comments. It's been ridiculous that not a single arrest has been made yet.
I've been kind of lost in the shuffle when it comes to the Breonna Taylor situation. Have they said they're investigating? Of course, every time we see on social media, it's like, hey, okay, y'all are doing this, but y'all haven't arrested killers of Breonna Taylor. I think it's a very popular saying, but I don't know. Are they just saying they're not gonna do anything? Or
they were investigating, but he posted a statement, I believe, back in May, and literally nothing has happened. They haven't arrested anyone. It seems like they're just trying to stall and hope that people are gonna forget and this is gonna fade away, but it's not happening.
Yeah, the only person that ended up getting arrested was her boyfriend, who returned fire because he didn't know who was in his house. They was legally licensed in his home. Returned fire. He hit one of the cops, and they arrested him, even though he had no criminal record, no nothing. And these guys barged into her home. This is one of the more unfortunate cases, and of course we don't want to see a bunch of riots and shit burn and all of that. But at the same time, it's like, yo, what the fuck? Just to see a young black woman that was doing good in life, pass away like that. And it's just, they don't care. It's like nobody cares. Nobody's even saying anything. That's what's burning us up or eating us up, So hopefully something comes out of all of this.
Yeah, we're going to keep applying this pressure. It's really necessary, but it's really dope to see people like Cordae out there protesting. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Some crazy stories have been breaking this week. So I know we've been talking about the state of the Migos and what we expect from them coming up. Yesterday, Quavo got on Twitter to announce that the Migos are going to drop the best albums of both 2020 and 2021. And around the same time, a story was breaking from The Hollywood Reporter saying that court documents were filed in California on behalf of the Migos, accusing an attorney named Damian Granderson, who represented their label Quality Control, of cheating them out of millions of dollars. So QC CEO Pete addressed this publicly and denied any wrongdoing. This is a quote from him. He said, It's unfortunate that the same people we have worked hard for, provided opportunities for, and championed for are now alleging that we have participated in any kind of immoral or unfair business practices or took advantage of them in their careers. And he went on to say he's not going to stand by and let Quality Control Music's reputation and everything they've built and sacrificed be tarnished by these allegations. So this attorney has represented Migos since they first formed. I think we all look at QC as a very tight-knit group. It's like surprising to see this bubble out publicly. What are your thoughts?
I want to know what you think before I go.
I love P. I love Coach K. I think they've done a phenomenal job really reinvigorating the Migos career, because remember the Migos, and by the way, there's so much irony in all of this that like we're getting to realize, you know, what artists say sometimes and what actually is there contractually is completely different. We got to remember that the Migos is a group that kind of came to prominence off releasing a series of mixtape called No Label. Ironically, they're complaining about their label, okay? But when they were on 300, you know, P took them to QC and eventually to Capitol, and basically they became superstars. But this is where, you know, you have to be very fair and accurate. And again, we're only hearing still one side. We see a lawsuit. I read the whole thing. I read every fucking page last night because, you know, I needed to be very aware of what the allegations were, and also reading P's statement, which I thought, you know, was very convincing as someone we like. You know, he's defending his brand. It sounded a lot Birdman-esque, to be honest. And I see Wayno's, you know, he's making that face. The only reason why I'm saying that is P, while he was defending QC, he basically said everything but addressed why why basically they're in court now. Okay. You get me?
Can you give us the quick summary from what you read?
Okay. Let's outline it. The Migos said, listen, we're in a 360 deal with y'all for life. It says it renews when y'all sign a contract with whoever the distributor is, whether it's Capitol, if you bring this over to Sony, if you bring this over to Warner. Where we automatically re-up with y'all, which, by the way, if just you don't got to be no lawyer to think about it. Every contract got to have an end date. But theoretically, this could not end, right? So they're automatically re-upped if QC re-up. Secondly, which prompts all of this, which they're trying to figure out, is this legal? And this is a common practice. It's a very nasty practice. I've talked to a lot of rappers who, when they're getting screwed, they usually admit this is going on. That the lawyer that's representing the rapper also represent in some capacity the label. That is a huge conflict of interest. Because while maybe they don't represent both parties on the same matter, attorneys, I have an entertainment lawyer, and they have a list of clients. I'm one of them. There's going to be whoever brings in the most amount of money, there's a priority little list right there. And again, they have incentive to, okay, this is my biggest client. You know, I'm only saying it's a huge conflict of interest if the Migos lawyer is also doing business for QC. Again, I love P, I'm telling you, but he addressed not one of the things that was seen by me in that lawsuit. All he said was that we helped y'all be the artists you are. Of course you did. Of course you did. But again, you have to speak to what's happening in the lawsuit.
I mean, we don't expect P to explain what's happening in the lawsuit on an Instagram caption, right? I mean, for the most part, like, yeah, like all of this stuff is going on now. Yeah, your lawyer, the label's lawyer, and your own lawyer shouldn't be the same lawyer, right? They definitely shouldn't be the same lawyer. But I'm saying it's like, what do we expect to see from P in that regard? I think that one of the most telling things of what he said is that everything can be negotiated, right? Now, I think that the epiphany that the Migos probably had is that now that they've made all this money and all of that, you know, audit. Like Waka Flock was on here the other day. He said, audit your label or whatever, right? Now, I think that because they've done so much, now that they look they're probably seeing what they could have gotten or what they should have gotten at conception of the Migos versus what they're doing right now. And I think from my side, I think that's the biggest miscommunication. Like a lot of artists see themselves as the final product. Now, the shit about them reeing up continuously, that's one thing. But like a lot of artists see themselves as the final product from day one. Nothing that we're gonna know about is all the money and all the time spent it took to make what the Migos are, right? So I don't know that price point, so I don't know what that investment is and what the return on that investment may have been. All I'm saying is that how much can a person address with something like this so public with a issue that's supposed to be handled in the courts?
Well, he did choose to address it, and I mean, like, there's just more even things. And let me be very clear when I say Birdman-esque, right? Because there's been many floating rumors, and some of them are lies, and some of them are just what people have said about Birdman. Right. And I'm telling you, I really I think P's like one of the most astute businessmen in the game. I love what he's doing.
Absolutely.
What I mean by that is that from the outside looking in, we thought all the artists were happy when we saw Wayne, Drake, Nicki, and them. They're all getting Bugattis. They're getting this and third. The shower your artists with cars and gifts, right? In the midst of their being at the top. And then when they take a break from putting out music, and right now we are in a pandemic, the same artists then look at you and say, fuck them cars, where my money at? That's what they said, that they lost out millions.
So you read the whole the report, the complaint. So I'm asking what is it that they're saying they haven't gotten or weren't getting?
Okay, so even if we start at the lawyer thing, right? They're saying that, and again, this could be argued, right? This is why they're going to court. They said, and then you could answer this ethically because we don't know the exact thing. They're saying that they have well below industry standard, and you got to remember, even though Yachty gave a great stamp to QC, Migos made QC this huge
we know that, right? They did the heavy lifting. No, we ain't questioning that.
Would you think that the Migos would at least be treated at least contractually? I know, of course, they're saying you don't in life, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. Right. But they're saying that the lawyers screwed them over because they weren't all their pub is tied up. The splits with QC was way lower than industry standard, and also the representation of the deal with Capital was intentionally made to them to seem like it was lower than what it actually is. So there was no transparency, that they basically didn't have proper negotiation tactics. You get me? So it was again, these are all allegations too.
Yeah, so in this suit, does it seem like they want the money that they feel like they're entitled to, and then they're willing to renegotiate and sort things out with the label? Or does it seem like we want our money and we want off the label kind of situation?
100%, this is we want off.
So look, I read this. And yeah, all most artists usually want off, but
remember you said negotiate? They don't want to negotiate.
But I'm saying about negotiations when it comes to label. Nobody from the Migos side can negotiate even if they had their own managers and their own lawyers. They can't negotiate the deal that Capital cuts with QC. They're the production company, so they don't have even if they had their own lawyers, their own whatever, they have no right to negotiate between Capital and the distributor.
Yeah, but it well.
And I'm not saying whatever. And also, I'm sorry to cut you off, Act, but QC is tied to it because of the lawyer, but this is geared more on the lawyer than it is the label, isn't it?
Yes, and right. This is what I'm saying. This is 100. I think why P took this so personally is because QC almost is like a co-defendant with the lawyer, because this is step one to say, throw out this record deal. The Migos basically signed, or they're locked into a deal that's not legal. They want off. You just got to get the lawyer first. Hey, we're suing our lawyer. He made us sign this bullshit. We wouldn't be with these niggas this long. Matter of fact, they robbed us of mad money. Matter of fact, if the only negotiation is compensate us, and they actually say that also compensate us for the millions lost because you didn't negotiate in the best in goodwill of doing us, your clients, trying to get us the best deal. You're pretty much like biased or doing whatever for the label. So again, I think this is the first step to get off the label. I do think things are at the point of no return. But here's the thing, and I think remember when we asked Yachty the question, we said, "Yo, what's up with QC?" I think that's a trickle down effect because they're legends. Go
there already? You think?
Yes, they're legend stuff from a couple years ago, and I just can't believe that it just took quarantine and COVID for the Migos said, "Hey, everybody, let's just go check our contracts real quick." I think everything was cool, and they were willing to accept maybe lesser than what industry standard permitted. Granted that they were the top guys in QC, they were getting all the promotion, they were all new superstars, but now it looks like P is moving like any great businessman and label should do. Oh, our new artist, Lil Baby, he's the hottest thing in the world. We are going to focus on him. You guys are now number 2. That number 2 and them trying to put out a couple records is where they now feel like, if you ask me, they need to shift. That's why they're bringing these things up, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
more
that.
to come. But quickly then, the timing of Quavo then tweeting like they're about to drop the best albums of this year and next year. You think he's just trying to reassure fans that this is not going to interrupt the flow of music? Because that wasn't going to distract anyone from this, especially with P responding.
No, 100%. But also, let me tell you this, and Wayno knows this also well. What? When an artist really who's battling their own relevance, which means, hey, you used to be this hot, but really you kind of cooled down. Rap is all about a game of facade. The best thing to do is start blaming your label. That when shit don't automatically hit, it's their fault. It's not that I'm not hot. It's them. Look at it. I'm not fucking cold. It's the label. They're fucking robbing me. They're not putting out my shit. And hey, such is life.
At the same time though, in all fairness, and I'm not pro label, but I'm not against label. They've been putting shit out, and it's not been sticking. You know what I mean? So you also gotta think about that, because the Migos are the Migos, regardless to all the shit that's going on. They've been putting music out. It hasn't been sticking. So it's two ways to look at it. It's one way to look at it as, okay, this shit is going on because our business is all tied up, but it's also a way to look at it like they just cold because they ain't got it like they used to, and now they got it. Now they got to point a finger, but it's not our business. We'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. All right. One of the stranger headlines we've seen in the past few weeks, Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. So we know they were at a Kardashian pool party recently. I saw this on your page. And then according to TMZ, Tory was arrested on Sunday for carrying a concealed gun in his car in LA. So he was charged with a felony and released a few hours later. Megan Thee Stallion and another woman were in the car during a search. And in the initial reports, they said that her foot had been injured. Things sounded a little bit strange. So she got on Instagram and said that those reports were inaccurate and explained her side of the story, saying, "On Sunday morning, I suffered gunshot wounds as a result of a crime that was committed against me and done with the intention to physically harm me. I was never arrested. The police officers drove me to the hospital where I underwent surgery to remove the bullet." So she went on to add that this experience was really an eye-opener and a blessing in disguise. She knows how to protect her energy. Look, Megan's career is going really well right now, and she's having a moment. And I did watch that TMZ video of her exiting the car, and you could see there were bloody footsteps right every time she was retreating. Can you guys help us make sense of this?
Man, we in some turmoil. Go ahead.
This went from, and by the way, I'm glad she addressed it, because this literally went from, yo, let's clown. By the way, this is a legal situation as well. So, while Twitter will always have their jokes, sometimes sympathy isn't the first thing that comes when others' misfortune presents itself. So first everyone's like, yo, Tory 5'3", he 120 pounds, he like a petite mannequin. That's all cool and everything. And everybody, you got the hot girl summer jokes about Meg, until you realize she's a victim. You get me? And now it takes a whole different turn, right? Because, we're trying to make sense of it, But I do think at first people had a lot of, even me. I didn't have any. I heard that she had injuries, but I'm like, what does that even consist of? That was a vague statement, right? At least initially, wasn't really thinking about Megan, what she might be going through, until you realize she said it was gunshot wounds. Now there's a lot of things to really like. Again, we're Monday morning quarterbacking it, and also like we're not armed with a lot of information. Yes, she had bloody steps, but I don't know if she was shot completely or it was like bullet fragments. Regardless, none of that is cool, right? Mm-hmm. Tory's kind of being a little quiet on it. We see the producers saying some stuff. We see like the best friend basically saying, "Hey, I was there too, but I didn't do anything." It feels like there's something there, and I want to go back to her caption where she says, "It's unfortunate it took this for me to realize I need to protect my energy." And when artists start talking like that, it means that they probably know that they have been moving a little bit reckless, hanging with certain people, being around certain situations, that if they were just thinking about their career, their well-being, they wouldn't be in those situations. And for her to say that, by the way, this happened in LA, it probably then, it kind of reminds me of her last couple days. She's out and about, Kylie Jenner, Tory. Maybe that's what she's talking about. I don't know yet. And I'm hoping it's just not some of the things that I'm hearing it might.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of different stories too, but it's just like, I mean, you think of were they in Calabasas and some shit like that?
Yeah.
Like you think, I mean, from my understanding, I think of that as pretty much a safe place where shit like that is not gonna go down at. And in so many words, she got shot. Like she said it, I got shot. It's scattered. It's like a scattered puzzle. And like you said, Monday night quarterbacking it, everybody's just trying to figure out and put things together, but we really don't know. I just never would have thought I would hear Megan Thee Stallion getting shot.
Right.
And especially with the career path that she's on and how great her year has been. Even through all the coronavirus shit that's been going on, like she's been having such a great year, and like that just really showed me I don't know what to expect going forward for the rest of this year, for real. But it's like how do a gun is found, she's shot, they said shots were fired, nobody's really saying anything, but she said she got shot.
She also said something very important and key to like us trying to figure out what it is, right? She said, I got shot multiple times and it was done, like she didn't say accidentally, it was done with the intention to harm me. Yeah. And that causes a lot for concern. By the way, I think this is such an open case that the police came out saying, we didn't even know she was shot. Right? I'm guessing she probably said at the scene, like, hey, yeah, my leg bleeding or whatever, but she didn't admit that she was shot. So now they're seeing this via social media. Like, we're all smart enough. The police is using this as statements to probably probe a little bit more and investigate what the hell went on. You get me?
Yeah,
well, I hope she recovers well. This is like really scary and unnerving. Just want to see Megan do great things right now. So guys, I'm sorry I ended with the Jada and Will cliffhanger yesterday, but before we get to that, real quick, it sounded like you had a real quick conspiracy theory. We didn't get to talk to you about Kanye allegedly running for president. I think a lot of people believed it was just promo for an album because he didn't even register, but according to New York Magazine, his election strategist, I'm sure he doesn't really have one of those, is out of the race, which he was probably never in to begin with. But TMZ is saying that yesterday he actually took his first steps by filing with the Federal Election Commission. We know people like Chance the Rapper will definitely support him if he runs. So let's quickly hear your thoughts, sir.
Hey, I think this whole thing is about him just really waging war on the Democrats. Kanye being the enigmatic, really sporadic type of, person who says he's a, what type of thinker he said before? I forgot what it is.
Free thinker.
A free thinker. I think, in hearing him, and, he has no policies, by the way. So there's zero policies with this. He's running under the birthday party. But I do think that he looks as like black people always voting Democrat as like a problem. And even if the only other option seemingly is voting Republican and Trump this time around, he doesn't like it, and he would rather probably even torpedo the Democrats' chance of even competing against Trump by having a third party. But I think for him, it's something that's more futuristic, where he doesn't want the choice just to be, hey, we're black, we got to vote Democrat, right? Like Biden coming out and saying, hey, if y'all niggas black, y'all better vote for me. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Which I like. I'm not gonna lie, I agree with that in principle. Like, keep it true. Has any motherfucker here has gone into like the election booth and really thought about Republican for more than like?
There are black Republicans though. I think even that attorney
definitely
general is a black Republican that I mentioned earlier. And you guys are right. We should have choices. I just don't think that this is the election with so much at stake. The pandemic, the economy on the verge of tanking, a president who's like so divisive and stoking racial tensions. This is not the moment for him to try to torpedo the Democrats. I'm sure we all wish we had more options, but at the moment we just simply do not.
Yo, unfortunately, I think that this is going to be the first year where it's going to be a record-breaking number of people who don't vote. Like, honestly, like,
for many reasons.
And yeah, for many reasons. And I mean, like, with Kanye just seems like, you know, your friend that's trying to get their driver's license but doesn't really know how to do it, and he like fumbling all over the place. That's how he looks with this presidency shit. It's like, all right, I'm running, then I'm stopping. Then I just now filed, but like it's like he don't know what to fucking do. Like that's how I look at it.
Yo, the mere fact that supposedly a poll, in a polling they did, he polled at 2%. Trust me, like if Kanye could shave off 5 to 10%, Democrats are fucked. And by the way, like, you know, just comparing Biden to Trump, you know, Biden is a little bit more polished when he talks. But I don't know if both of them motherfuckers is too much of the same, too different. Okay, I'll just say that. You know what I mean? Again, a lot of times, you know, we definitely get at Trump for like his divisive rhetoric, but I don't know if the policies and how that other motherfucker feel. Do
you really feel that way, Ak? Come on, please don't be irresponsible right now. Like I said, this is not about Republicans and Democrats, and when we have these conversations, we have to be responsible. It's life and death on the line here right now. Like, come on, seriously.
Man,
but anyway,
listen. I know. I just don't. I'm gonna keep it 100.
I don't know, man.
I don't want Trump at all. Listen, I don't want Trump at all. But I just ultimately and honestly, from my heart, I don't trust Joe Biden. Like he's just.
And that's fine. That's totally fine to say it. I just, you know what I mean. Let's not talk about torpedoing. A lot of us don't. We don't feel passionate about Biden, and I completely understand you. It's fair to say that. But let's not say that Trump is the better option. Come on.
No, I say that. I'm just saying that, to be honest, I understand why niggas is like, yo, this other candidate don't really do it for us. Biden is the definition of rocking you to sleep. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, cool. He's not fucking tweeting out like nuclear missile launch codes every day, but damn it. This nigga, something off with him, man.
Yo, let Elon Musk sum this up. You know how he said he supported Kanye and then he sort of doubled back and said, maybe not in 2020, in 2024. Cool. Kanye, let's run under the birthday party in 2024 when we're not in the middle of like one of the worst crises in American history. How about that?
By 2024, we're going to have a robot for a president.
Yo, I got an instinct. I ain't going to lie. Like, this ain't no Kanye shit. I got a little instinct. Biden seemed like one of them niggas from Get Out. I'm going to just keep it true with y'all. Like, for real. Like, you gotta take the picture a couple times to be like, oh shit, the fuck is that? I'm gonna just tell y'all that I'm not running. Okay, maybe I do run under the you know what I mean, the birthday cake party. You know what I mean?
The cake party.
All right, y'all. Last topic of the week. So look, these August Alsina rumors have been circulating for a long time. We've all heard that Jada and Will had an open relationship, which is completely their business. It is their marriage. But for some reason, during this album rollout, he addressed this thing. It blew up, and it got to the point where Jada had to bring herself to the red table and bring Will with her to address it. It was, very honest, it was a little bit difficult to watch because you could see how uncomfortable and hurt Will felt. But I would like Wayno to start because your takes on relationships are always wildly extreme. So Wayno, please.
Nah, I think listen. I mean, everybody, and I love Will Smith, but I feel like Will Smith like if Jada out here, if she could do that, we talk about Will Smith. Like I'm pretty sure Will Smith got some shit going on as well. The whole thing about it, though, I feel like August Alsina, the reason why he probably even came out, which I don't agree with him coming out with it, but the reason why he probably came out with it is because a lot of people stopped fucking with August Alsina after they started seeing them together, right? Like, people was looking at August Alsina like he was this home wrecker. You know what I mean? And, like, he's almost like the male Monica Lewinsky. Like, for real. It's like, it's real shit. It's like, he's going to be synonymous with the word entanglement for the rest of years to come. So I think that he was just trying to defend himself, and it kind of backfired because they was like, oh, he was sick and he was, you know, like they made it like he was this withering child in the cold, like Oliver Twist, and he needed help, and they came to help him. And
He said Oliver
looks,
Twist.
for real, it kind of looks like they fucking took. Well, she took advantage of him a bit. You know what I'm saying? But all in all,
all I want to say is that I feel Will is such a victim here. And you know me, I like to keep things fair. By the way, it's not my place and it's none of my business how they choose to have their relationship and what they choose to do in whatever makes them cool. Whether they could date other people, who cares, right? The mere fact that it's public and August is speaking on it, I guess that's why we're even having this conversation. But I just thought that red table talk was foul. I think she should have went there by herself. Truth be told. I felt it was a very demeaning thing for Will to sit there and basically, like, she didn't even need Will there. She was just sunning him in his face. She said this one thing because I assumed he was there to be like, talk about a permission thing. She literally said, I don't need nobody to give me permission. I give myself permission. So Will is sitting there looking stupid like, like it. Yo, could you imagine if a dude brought his side chick and his wife there? Come on, bruh. Come on, man.
This is till death do us part, I guess.
No. I'm just telling you. I think we do love Will, but like if this was the other way around, and it was Will Smith and his side chick and Jada, it would look crazy.
Hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday on Everyday Struggle.
Another full week next week. Let's get it.
Let's get it.